Hello everyone and a warm welcome to Mystery Monday live here from Melbourne. My name is Lucia Visentin and I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Melbourne, Australia. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I didn't think I would be on, but have actually felt okay. We just arrived back from the US today. So we got back in at 10:30 this morning and arrived home, I'm going to say it was probably about 12:30 by the time we got home. So today is only simple. I haven't done anything sort of too taxing. And I have used a card I received at BackStage. And have asked Laurie if I was able to case it as well. But I will just show you a few things that I got. We had an amazing time. So John joined me at BackStage as well, and I was there with Angela as well. We did, thank you. We had a wonderful trip. Natalie, it was really good. We did get a few little goodies from Stampin' Up as well when we got there. So I will turn you over and show you. So what BackStage is it's a leadership event. It's open to any demonstrators that are Silver Elite and above. So a lot of the demonstrators are qualified to go. So it's not sort of too exclusive. Sorry, I'm away from the camera. It's not too exclusive, I wouldn't think. When we did get there, we checked in on the Monday, and so when we check in, normally we do get a bag. So we did get a tote this year, which is a really lovely, it's quite large, a canvas tote. What? Yes, kind of stays there, but you know, I'll show a little bit. Hi Vicky, we had awesome time. So it's got a little zip inside, and there's a little, I don't know whether you can see the fabric, but it is a little bit country and western looking, so that could be a hint of things to come perhaps. We did receive a beautiful notebook. So there was loads and loads of notes, empty page, obviously missed a page, loads of notes taken while we were away as well. We did get a few little pens and my little lanyard with a little BackStage pin on that as well. And the other little thing that we got, a quite big thing, was a t-shirt with Vegas and a little cowgirl on there as well, which was quite cute. So that was with check-in, and then on the very last night we did have what was called a frontier farewell. So we did have to dress up all country and western, and what we did get to make was a cowboy hat. So that is the hat, but we did get to decorate it and put some things around it, which was really sweet. And I did also, don't know whether you can see it, put a little Stampin' Up brand just at the back of it as well. So we were able to put sort of different things on there as well. So that was quite cute also. But like I said, it was all the breakout sessions that we did, and so Tuesday was filled with classes and general session. Wednesday was the same. Like I said, Wednesday night we had the Frontier Farewell, but it was catching up with all these people, friends, new friends. The other little thing I'm going to give you a quick sneak peek at as well that we received was the January to April mini catalogue. So we have got that little beauty there as well. But I can't show you inside, but I can show you the outside of it. Yes, I'm sure you'll see me in my hat and t-shirt at some stage. Not quite sure when. So like I was saying, I didn't do any swaps this time. I ran out of time. I had a few new team members that joined, so I was trying to get welcome packs out to them before I left. I figured that was a little bit more important than swaps. But did receive a few little gifts from some people. So I did get this beautiful little starfish pin from Emma Goddard, and this gorgeous little this was also handmade, the little tag, but this one's got like a little bee and a little sunflower on it as well, from Maker, who was Dutch, and some, I can't think what they're called now, stroop waffles, which are caramel biscuits. They look delicious, so I'm going to try those tonight as well. So card tonight. I will show you the card before I make it. Hello Annette, and hi Glenda, how are you? So this is the card, and I do like it, and I love it for its simplicity, and I love the products that it's used, and the products will actually tie into a class that Stampin Up are doing on the 21st of November. That will be this Friday morning. It's happening. So I did want to show you this and then go through some of the products. I might even go through the products first, actually. So I am using, I'll show you what I'm going to use to make it, or the colours at least, are going to be very vanilla, early espresso, and some of the designer series paper, which is this one here. Now the designer series paper is from the suite that's called Brushed with Beauty, and Brushed with Beauty, fantastic. So am I, Anita. I'm really looking forward to doing this class just to see what it's all about. Hello Kim, how are you? Hope you're well. Who else have I missed? Hopefully no one. Yeah, there were lots of things. Yes, I did give away a few Tim Tams, I must admit, packets of Tim Tams. So this is the paper I am using, which has got the Calypso Coral back. I'm pretty sure Anita used this today as well, but she used the pretty florals in her card. Not quite that one, but that one has got Lost Lagoon at the back. She used this floral here, which was just stunning. You had a lovely card today, Anita. And that one's got the beautiful stripes with the crumb cake behind. Sorry, I think I've got some back to front here as well. So this is the one that the card was made out of. Okay, so that's it there. So like I said, I'm casing it as in even going as far as using the same suite of papers, but using a different one. Sorry, I think you've seen those ones. And then this one here, this one I love. So this one here I will use at another stage, because that is, I must admit, one of my favourites. Good evening, Anita, and hi, Jenny, how are you? Oh, showed you that one as well. Sorry, got them all a bit mixed up here. This is what happens when you've been away and you haven't organised anything beforehand. Anyway, so they are all the papers. Yeah, I noticed something just dropped on the floor. Yeah, sorry, I just need to find this because it's something that's out cutting. Sorry, just been under the table, a cutting guide. What else can I show you from this suite? Now, it is a mega suite, this suite. Now, the brilliant thing about this suite is it does come with vellum. So vellum is back, and it is 30 by 30, and it comes with 12 sheets. So that is our vellum there. So that's $17.50 for the pack of vellum. There are also these gorgeous gems. The gems I had lost all day today. It took me the whole afternoon to find them, and I've had them in a kit. So they come in white, Calypso Coral, and the crumb cake. And the gems are $14. So that's those. We'll put those aside because we will use those. And there is also a beautiful embossing folder that we will use tonight also. And this one is called the Beautiful Pattern embossing folder. So that one's $18.50. And then we have stamp set and dies. Now these are all in our new packaging, so nice and flat. The vellum is brilliant, Anisha. I love vellum. But you used it today, didn't you? Or I noticed you did use some vellum. The stamps, I will use just 2 of the little stamps today, but the dies are gorgeous too. And I have got, and this is usually what I do with my dies before I use them, is I do cut them all out and stamp them just so that I know myself. I may have shown you these. I don't know why I think I have. Just so that I know what they actually cut out, what they stamp. So there are a few standalone dies, which are these ones. But then pretty much everything that's here also gets cut out with the dies too. So it is quite a good set because there's quite a lot there that you can actually cut out too. Hello Sharon, how are you? So that's all of those. This is really bad because I'm just going to pop them all on top and put them on the floor. Oops, I will tidy them up later. And the other thing is this one here. So this is another of the sets. So you can purchase these in bundles as well. Sorry, I should have told you the price of the floral bundle is $86.25, and this one here is $80. So with this one here, you get these beautiful words, just because, and you have the dies for these large just because, but you also have these smaller stamps that say just because, and there's so many different sentiments: kind, sweet, you're a great friend, it's your birthday, I appreciate you, I think you're amazing, lovely, I love you, you're so, and you've been on my mind. So there is heaps in these ones. Excuse me, sorry. And just to show you the dies, I possibly should have done these in some different colours as well, but there are 3 different parts to this. So you have a large mount, you have another mount that's a little bit smaller, and then you have the actual because that you can mount on top of that as well. So you can actually have 3 layers there. Hi Rochelle, how are you going? It is a great word set. There is so much in it. It is just lovely, I must admit. I have used it. I did make a few cards. I didn't make many cards to go away, but I did make one for Shelley and for Sarah, who's the CEO and the founder of our company, and just a few for a few friends as well. So like I said, I didn't not make any cards, but I just made a small amount. So there's your just. And then you have some labels to cut out all these other words as well. And these ones here that are the bigger ones, the 2-line ones. So like I said, great set. I think I am going to get a whole lot of use out of those, like I already have, which is a good thing. So the whole suite, like I said, it is a double suite yet. I'm okay, tired. Is it Friday yet? It does feel like Friday. Unfortunately, it's only Monday. But we'll get there. The week will fly by, I'm sure. The whole suite is $238. So the other thing I did want to tell you is there is the class on the Friday that is using that suite. So the class live on Friday is at 7 a.m. So I think I will be getting up at 7 and I will be doing it live, just so I can have the interaction as I'm doing it as well. It will be on a Facebook group, so you will be able to chat, which will be great. And there will be a whole heap of fantastic techniques. There are 4 projects that we'll be making as well. So it will be interesting. Yeah, I'm the same, John. I've got no idea what day it is because we did lose Sunday, just disappeared, unfortunately, which was a bit sad. Mind you, we had 2 Saturdays when we went over. So the other thing with these classes is there will be some additional supplies. So if you've got the suite, fantastic, you're set to go, but there will be some ink pads that you will need. I'm thinking if you're a demonstrator, most of these things you'll have. If you're not a demonstrator, there are a few extras that you will need. So there are some extra papers, so the crumb cake cardstock and very vanilla cardstock. The inks are things like Calypso Coral, Early Espresso, Darling Duckling, Mossy Meadow, Calypso Coral. So they're the inks that actually go with the designer series paper. Adhesives that you'll be needing. And like I said, some of these are things that you will already have. Embossing paste is probably the one thing here that would be something that's probably not going to be in your kit of things that you have on hand, at least. So that's probably the only thing I can think of. Anyway, let us get to this card. So like I said, this is what I am doing it in. I have used Early Espresso for my card base. So card base is regular card base, 21 centimetres by 14.85, and I scored it at the 10.5. I do have an insert for the centre as well, which is exactly the same as the mount that I've got for the front. So the mount that I have for the front is 14.35 by 10 centimetres. Then I've got a little piece of the Early Espresso, and this one here is 10 centimetres by 7.5. So we can see here, I'll just sit him up in the corner. So that's what I'm going to pop there. And I've used the different colourway. So again, same paper, different colourway. And this I have done in 9.9. Now Laurie was gorgeous and she did give me the measurements for hers, and it is in inches. So I have just converted it all to centimetres. If anyone does want the inches, I can grab them for you. I don't have them on hand because they're on my phone, sorry, which I am filming with at the moment, but I can write them in the comments if you like. But I will give you the measurements in centimetres, and we will actually cut it out so that you can see how it's going to be done. So I am going to start from one end to the other and how it's going to sit, because I still want all the pattern to all join up. So at this end, I want my larger piece. So I'm going to cut the 3 centimetres, will be my first piece. Then I'm going to go 2.5 is my next piece. And then I'm going to go 2 centimetres. And that should leave me with a little 1.5 piece there. Okay. So there, all our little bits there, which I will keep like that. So I can stick them down exactly as they are. Do you know what? It's a great way just to use up, oops, sorry, your designer series paper anyway. Thank you, Brenton. We did have a pretty awesome time. We even went to the Sphere and saw the Wizard of Oz as well, which was just awesome. That was so fantastic. If anyone gets a chance to go, even just to go to the Sphere to check it out, it's an amazing place. So that's those bits which will go on top of here. I will stick my 2 end bits down first so I can work out a nice border. And then I'll put those in the middle. So then I can just sort of even them all out a little bit. Okay. But the other thing I did want to do, sorry, I'm just going to pop that aside. I'm going to grab this, and I'm also going to grab the embossing folder, which is on my desk. What did John say? Oh, coffee. Yes. coffee was kind of the bane of our existence while we were away. We could not find a nice coffee anywhere. I don't know what it was. We're obviously just fussy. So I'm going to pop that in. I want the pattern to be raised, which is what Laurie has done here as well. I think that looks quite nice. So embossed. So I'm going to pop that in there. And I'm sorry I didn't get any plates out. So let me just grab my plates and grab my machine. And I hope I don't hit you. Everything fall off my shelf. Okay. Like I said, not too organised today, but I didn't think we had to be sort of too organised. So I have my cut and emboss machine. I have got plate number 1. I have got my embossing folder and cardstock inside of that. Now, with your embossing folders, they have a line down the bottom here too. So if you find it difficult to line things up, if you actually use that line, that will help line things up. So there you go. You line it up here along that bottom, which I think I have. Fold through first, as always. And then we put our top plate, which is number 4. And roll that all through. So this is what we end up with. How cute is that? Like, it is so pretty. I have to say the best coffee we came across was Starbucks. And that's saying something, because I really do not like Starbucks coffee here, but that was the best thing we could find there. So that will sit on top of our card base like that. And then these bits will sit flat on here. So I'm also, let me tell you how much bigger they are. I didn't really think. So you've got 7.5 and 9 centimetres. So you're looking at 1.5 centimetres. So you're looking at 0.75 each end is what it's going to hang off. So we just want that to sort of be, like I said, a nice even spacing between them all. So like I said, it always helps if you do those 2 end ones first and then you do the ones in the middle. You're right, that that is saying something about Starbucks. It is like a paper towel. It's kind of got that same embossed look that a paper towel has. Correct. I think you did say that, Anisha, today. I was sort of listening and trying to get this card done at the same time. Okay, so let me get some glue. And we will start popping these on. So I'm not going to glue all the way to the ends. And I'm just going to eyeball both ends just to make sure that they're sticking over the edges about the same. And we'll do our last one. Sorry, I'm about to sneeze, I think, but try not to. We'll see how we go. I think I may have come home with a bit of a cold as well, which doesn't help. I said to John I may have been snoring, or not snoring on the plane, I'm sure. And you'll go that one there. And then we'll go that one there. How's that? I think we've done pretty okay with those. Now, I do have a class on Friday as well, so the lady's doing my class. Tomorrow is my day. I will be doing my PDF, so don't panic. There will be one. You just won't get it until tomorrow, though, I'm sorry. Food was huge portions, is all I can say, and not very colourful, unfortunately. And it depended where you went to. So, I mean, your fast food places were quite white. But there were some nice places around where we were staying where we had some beautiful food. We went to a beautiful Thai restaurant, which was gorgeous. So, yeah, there was some good food, I must admit. Okay, so this one here we'll stick down first. John's right. We went to this gorgeous restaurant at the Cromwell. So after we'd been to the Wizard of Oz, and it was called Jada. She is an American Italian and has a cooking show that John watches. So John was it was somewhere that he wanted to go, which was lovely. So we went there and had this beautiful meal, and I can't even remember what the pasta was called, but it was amazing. So when they found out that we'd got it for both our birthdays, because it was John's birthday and will be my birthday, so that was our special treat to each other, they actually gave us the recipes for the pasta, and I think it might have been the biscuits that we had for dessert as well, which were just amazing. So anyone that comes round soon might get to try the biscuits at least. The pasta we'll have to give a go and see how it turns out, I think, before we serve it to anyone. So that is going to sit in the middle of the card like that with our dimensionals on the back. Just make sure you've got enough dimensionals there so it doesn't get all saggy. You could probably use a few less, but we really don't like saggy mounts. So let's try and center that as best we can. How's that? Do that kind of thing. Sorry, I've taken the other card away. So there's our card back again. So I do have an insert, and I have got the Appreciate You, but I did, and the die that we've got for that, but I did actually just cut this little piece off here, and I thought instead of wasting that little piece, I think I'm just going to stamp the Appreciate You onto that piece there, just so I'm not wasting it. Excuse me. And I don't have the brown thread, but I do have some linen thread. You know what? I say I don't have brown thread, but let us have a look. No, I don't. So not quite sure where the brown came from. But the other thing I wanted to do was just do a little bit of stamping on the inside. Oh, the lemon spaghetti, that's what it was. Hello, Renee, how are you? Hope you're well. So with this one, what I'm going to do is do a little bit of stamping off. Oh, here's something I wanted to show you too. This was my little 9x9 piece. So I cut out my 9x9 piece, and then I've actually, that's my little template that I do. So I just did it just to make sure that it was all the right sizing and everything. So like I said, I think the one that my girlfriend did was like, I'm going to say it was a 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch, 1 1/4 inches, and then whatever was left. But like I said, I will get the measurements for you in the inches, but it works out pretty much the same in centimeters. the main difference is probably this last one. Mine's a little bit thicker, that's all, but it wasn't a huge difference at all. That was just so that I could get it even enough. So I've just got a little bit of scrap paper here. I'm going to get my brown and I'm going to get the centers of my little flowers. I find if I do my darker colour first, it's a little bit easier. So I'm just going to pop them there. And I'm going to turn it round, stamp it off again. So I'm just, by stamping it off, I'm just getting it so it's a little bit lighter on my card and not too dark. I didn't want it to be that real dark early espresso. I wanted it to be just a little bit lighter. So then I'm going to not use this one here because that would be too dark. We will bring out crumb cake in. And do that. But what I'm also going to use is my mat underneath and put this on top. So what I'm doing is I'm matching up the centers of the flowers with the centers of the little brown bits. So we've got that kind of thing. And then we'll do this one. There you go. So not too much on the inside, but just a little bit there. Let me just clean in those stamps. So this one we can pop on the inside. I'll pop in there. And there's no upside down with this one because we've done the same corners, top and bottom. Okay, that can go in like that. I will pick up the stamp set that I threw on the floor. Do you know what? We had a nice risotto for dinner tonight too, so that was nice to have some home cooking when we got back. Although we did have a son that wasn't well tonight, so we've got back at about lunchtime, and then we had Daniel ring us up, who was on his way back from the airport, and had got halfway home and needed to be picked up because he was feeling ill. So I think he's had something that didn't agree with him. Now I'm trying to find, here we go, I appreciate you, which is just down the bottom here. So we did a nice little trip out to Rosanna this afternoon in school traffic, peak hour of course, which mind you was nothing like peak hour in LA, so we were pretty okay. Yeah, the floor's a great place to put my stamps, but that's where they usually go. So what I'm going to do, this is a new stamp set, so I will grab my early espresso and I am just going to ink it up and stamp it, give it a little smoosh, and I'm going to clean it. So what I'm doing here is just conditioning my stamp. Sometimes, I mean, that's not come out too badly actually, but sometimes when you stamp with your stamps first up, they don't stamp very cleanly. When you do that, it just takes all the residue of the photopolymer off the photopolymer, because there will be stuff left on them from the production. And I can't tell you what it is because it is actually liquid photopolymer when they make them. So let us try and get that in the center. When I say us, I mean me, but anyway. a little bit crooked. So we might just try that again up the other end. Maybe I need to take my glasses off. I think that one's a bit better. Now I haven't put the piercing mat under it. I tend to find that my sentiments seem to stamp okay on the glass mat, so I don't worry too much about the piercing mat. When you're doing images, I find that the piercing mat is definitely worth having under you. Thank you. Okay, so let's get our little trimmer out, and we will just trim one end. I'm just going to leave a fair bit at the end there as well still. Do you know what? I nearly feel like that needs some chopped chip. Chopped chip. Oh my God, I've done it again. Need some early espresso around it. Hi Vicky, how are you? Hope you are well. Let's get a little bit out. Do you know what? That's probably nearly the right size. So let's pop that under and trim a little bit off the end, and we will glue that on and then probably trim a little bit off the side as well. I was going to emboss it, but of course the white embossing was too bright for it, and we don't have very vanilla. So, well, I do have some really, really old, smelly vanilla. I don't know whether anyone remembers the embossing powder we had that was smelly from quite a few years ago. Actually a long, long time ago. So let us now just trim the edge of that. Might just trim just a tiny bit more. Might just do a little bit off the ends. How's that? Just makes it stand out a little bit more with the brown around it, I think. So we'll pop that there. We have our linen thread that we can pop on this as well. And I might do a double bow also. Do that kind of thing, and I do have some scissors. Cut one end and just make sure the other tails are the same. And that we can stick there. I think Laurie's put that on dimensionals, but I'm going to sit mine flat because we've already got that background on dimensionals. So let's pop a bit of glue behind here. Oh, that was handy. Yeah, see, that's what happens when you're tired. That's okay. It will clean up. Lovely. So pop that there. I'll grab some glue dots and we will pop our bow on a glue dot. Oh, if anyone does make it, I would love to see what it looks like. So glue dot behind there. I'm just going to fold that glue dot back so it is just behind the bow. So it's not sticking out too much. We'll pop him right in the corner there. Just going to tease that bow apart a little bit so it's not one it's quite on top of the other as it is. Give it a bit more of a butterfly look nearly. Go the other way. There we go. That kind of thing. Now we do have gems. So I was thinking that the crumb cake gems would work on here. This colour here. So there's the white, but can you see how the print on this is actually quite, it is quite ivory. Oh, Natalie, I'm sure you could tie them just as easily with your sewing skills as well. There we go. Okay, so let's get some of these gems up. So these just come in 2 sizes. So I think there was about, I'm going to say 800, but I could be wrong. But let me, yeah, I am. 180. I really have been reading things wrong today. So there's 180 gems on here, and you get 30 in the 3 colours. So 30 of the big, 30 of the small in each colour. It's 4mm and 5mm. So you've got Calypso Coral, I think I said white, and you've got the crumb cake. So how's that? So they are pretty much identical. Oh, actually, you know what will be different is the card size, because Laurie is actually American, so this would have started off as a letter size. So their cards are slightly wider than ours, but slightly shorter than ours. So that's the difference between the American size and our size. I hadn't actually thought of that when I did it. I did measure it exactly. So we've got a little bit more of the mount showing at the bottom and a little bit less top and bottom. So you could change that and cut these a little bit shorter, and this the brown mount a little bit shorter as well, but I don't think it really matters. Do you know what? I have seen mix and matchy gems, and especially if you've got different coloured designer series paper. So if you were using, I'm sorry, I'm talking to the floor because I'm picking papers up from the floor. But if you were using, say, this gorgeous designer series paper, you could actually mix those gems up, because you could use the crumb cake and the coral on that. Would look gorgeous. So you don't just have to go the same. You could also shape the top and the bottoms of the designer series paper. Ah, yes, that would be really lovely too. If you had any of the punches that cut the tags, and they would do a nice little pattern on the bottom as well, that would be nice too. That would actually look gorgeous. That would have been a great idea, Anita. You could actually use any punch though. It doesn't need to be a punch that just cuts some tags out even. I do have, you know, even if you used something like this punch and just did this shape at the bottom of it. Could be really nice too, just to give it something a little bit different. That could work quite well. Great idea, Anisha. Or dies. Dies would be the other thing. I have loads more dies than I do punches. But that is my my quick and simple card for the night. This would be beautiful in Christmas designer series paper as well. I have got some paper here that I have not used very much of at all, the traditions of Christmas. So if you got, you know, some of this red one here, or even this one, so they've got big patterns on them, but it doesn't matter because you're cutting that 9 by 9 out, and it's all going to be joined anyway. These papers would be perfect. Tomorrow I might make another one using these and doing this exact same layout, because I think that would be really lovely. And like I said, if any of you make the cards, or any cards using this layout, do pop them on the page for others to see, because I'm sure we'd all love to see what you come up with as well. That would be great. Now, hopefully I will be back on board Thursday and Friday as well. Last Friday I didn't get my advent calendar done either. Last Friday, the Friday before now. So I will have that done on Friday, and I'll have my tips and tricks going again on Thursday. So I hope everyone has a lovely week, and I will catch up with you on Thursday. Thanks so much for joining. I do really appreciate it. Thank you very much, everyone. Bye.